Hi, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to do a single headlight conversion on a Fazer. So as you can see, I've got a Yamaha FZ6S and it was in a bit of an accident and the front end got damaged, and these bikes come with twin headlights and a fairing. What I'm going to do is do away with the fairing, do away with the twin headlights, and I'm going to fit a single headlight conversion onto it and keep it naked as well. So if you want to see how to do that, stick around and I'll show you how it's done, maybe. So the first thing I need to do is strip this down. As you can see, there's a bracket on here. We're going to eliminate this bracket because it's bent anyway. So I need to take the clocks off. I need to take this bracket off. There's an earth strap here I need to remove. And yeah, and then once it's stripped, we'll go about putting the conversion on it. So I would recommend the first job is taking the clocks off. This is quite easy. From what I can see, it's just 3 screws because these will go into the new bracket. And then we'll just, there's a wee Allen key holding this earth cable on, so I'll go and get that taken off. And stick a screw up there. That's that off. I've got things cable tied to this frame, so I'll need to cut them off as well. Oops. And try not to drop your clocks like I did. Hopefully I've not damaged them. Yeah, they're alright. Thank goodness for that. So we're going to change all this wiring as well, because I'll show you over here. The wiring for this comes out here and onto this like cable tie, and this is all your headlight and everything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that through here because we won't have a fairing. So I'll rewrite it through here. I might need to shorten that a bit or adjust the cable or make some amendments to it, but we'll have a look when that time comes. But first thing is get all this bloody frame off, and yeah, and then we'll be getting there. So in the bottom of the frame you'll find 2 bolts here and here, so we need to take these off, and that's the ones that gets rid of this frame. I'll just go and do that now. Geez, that first bolt was really slack. See what the second one's like. Oh geez, that was slack as well. A bit weird. Anyway, with them off. Now, what else is holding this on? Let's see. Nothing. That's it. So there's the old frame off, gone. So keep a hold of that in case you need any bolts off it or anything. I think I've taken everything off it, but yeah. So now it's just a matter of tidying all this wiring up. There's a set of heated grips on it, I'll keep them on. There's also a gear selector to tell you what gear you're in, which is unplugged from somewhere, and yeah, I'm not that fussy for it, to be quite honest. One of the jobs I need to do with this is sort out the wiring for the headlights, because this bike has, I'll show you. So it's got that plug for the H4 bulb which goes to one headlight, and then it's got another plug for the H4 that goes to the other headlight. Now one's main beam and one's dip. So as you can see, the 2 wires in here are going to the left and the right. The black's probably the earth, I would imagine. And this is going to the left and right as well. So one of them One of them will be full beam. I've got the funniest feeling this was a dip one, but I'll need to test it. I'll need to plug this into the bulb, put the lights on, see what happens, whether it's low beam or full beam, and then the same with this one, low beam or full beam. So I'm just going to show you. So we've got two plugs here, so I'll switch it on to low beam and I'll put this one on. So this one's not doing anything, so this must be the high beam wires, and this will be the low beam, which should come on. That's the low beam. There we go. So if I switch it to high beam, the low beam stays on. So that's right for low beam. So if I take this off, put the high beam on. Now that's low beam, that's not high beam, that's actually a low beam because it's using the same element. So what I need to do is take the high beam wire live and stick it onto the low beam plug in the top. And then when I put that on, I should have both high beam and low beam, if you can understand that. So there, just to prove a point there, I use my voltage tester on these two, and this one here is the low beam, this one, so that'll be the earth, and this one here is the high beam, and that'll be the earth. So I can do away with that earth and stick that high beam in the top of this, and that should give, in the top of this, that should give me the low and high beam on the single unit. So I'll go ahead and do that. I just need to pull this out of here somehow and stick it in the other one. So there's a way to get that wire out. Down the front there's a wee pin that you can up, and that should come out, or you can break the plug, it doesn't really matter, but it's easier if you just put that in there and that should slide out. Sometimes you just have to give it a wee squeeze in and it should lock itself into place. Put on like that. There. Now, that should be the headlight working, so we just need to try that out. Spikes in low beam. That should be low beam. Flick it to high beam. High beam. Low beam. High beam. Low beam. High beam. Low beam. So that seems to work. So I've been looking at this, and I think, although that's the way it was plugged in the FZ6, I think that's wrong. I think actually low beam and high beam are the wrong way around. Because when I put it in low beam, it shines bright and quite high. When I put it in the high beam, there's a lower beam comes on. So I think I might just have to take these wires out, swap them around, and that should be it, which is an easy enough job. I just do what I did already, but I take that high beam out, I take the low beam out, just swap them, and that should be it. I'll do that now. So I've swapped the wires around. Here's your plug. So the top one where I had the full beam, I've put the low beam into that and the top beam into the right hand side one. So I'm just going to stick that onto the bike to try it out, onto the light I should say. And then I'll shine the light on that pillar so you can see what I mean. That's if I don't lose my camera in the process. So there we go, there's low beam, and if I flick the high beam on, see if you can see that, that's low beam, that's high beam, low beam, high beam. You can see the difference quite easily. Low beam, high beam. So I'm happy with that. That's the wiring done. Now I just need to tidy this wiring up if that's possible. So I've undone the cables, everything's here, and I've run that cable right through here so as it comes out the back of where the headlight will be. And I can take these brackets off and make them redundant. All of this, this is the heated grips with the control up here. So there we go, I've taken these two bolts out here. So what I need to do is put this frame in here. So I just put that on top of that bracket and screw all that back into there. I'll go on with that now. Well, that's the bracket on. I just need to tighten that up a wee bit. And that's looking good. When I got this headlight kit, I thought, Jesus, there's not much to it, you know, there must be bits missing or something, but nah, that's alright. Yeah. So this splits down the middle here and it's held in by this one bolt. I might put these two bolts back in that I took out. Yeah, just to make sure that stays tight. We're on the next day doing this headlight conversion. So I've put this bracket on, so it bolts here. I maybe need a wee bit of adjustment. It bolts up here, this bracket comes off. There's a bracket here that holds these cables. You unscrew it, let it dangle, we'll cut it off in a wee bit, and this bracket bolts onto that hole where this was. It bolts on the bottom here, and it bolts up here. Now, the problem with this one up here is there isn't a screw hole to bolt it onto. So I'm going to have to devise something, whether it's a heavy duty cable tie, because once this is bolted in and this is bolted, that's not going to move from there. That's going to be rigid. So, but anyway, so I've had to bend the horn down a wee bit. Your clutch cable and this cable here is going to have to come off and feed it round the back, because when you put the headlight on, it fits flush in with here, so this cable can't be here. It would bend the way. The clutch cable as well. Clutch cable is going to have to come round, maybe around the outside or something. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I'm going to have a flutter around with this and have a look at it. I'll show you what I mean about tightness. So here's what I mean about tightness. So I'll take the headlight, okay, with this fitting, it goes on here, and the two screws that screw into this bracket. This is going to be flush into here. Now maybe the cable, I might get away with the cable there, but the clutch cable is going to definitely have to come out to get this in. This side. So I'm going to put the speedometer on just now. See these rubber grommets? Take these off the old bracket, and that way when you put a speedo on, it all just fits in nicely, like that. Alright, I'll take a wee bit of pushing in, but yeah, it fits in like that, and then I can screw these in for the bottom. The reason I'm putting this on next is because when you put the headlight, this is going to be in place so as it all fits in. You can't put this on once the headlight's in, you might not get into the screws. So I'm going to put it on just now, see how it goes. Yeah, that's tidy. Now if you're worried about the back of that, there is a bracket comes. This cable fits in this hole here. This bracket comes like that and screws on. Yeah, and there is small screws come with it for screwing it in. I thought they'd maybe be a bit too long, but they're fitting in beautifully. Put one under here. Well, I did it. I got it on. It was really tight. These brackets, it brings the headlight really tight in, and with wires being behind there, it makes it kind of awkward. Still got indicators to put in, but I've left the plugs at the back of each side. So, yeah. So that's it done. The only thing I need to tidy up is the wiring at this side. Now my idea was that was going to get tucked behind the headlight, but obviously not now. So I'll need to take the tank off, and I'll try and pull this shoe and tidy it up under the tank there, and that should be it. And I'll get the clutch lever put back on, yeah, which will take all of 5 minutes. As I put it in like that, stretch it shoe. Just 2 hands for that. But yeah, I'll get a clutch lever put back in. Yeah, so we'll see if it works. So we've got ignition. Doesn't look too bad sitting here. See, a lot of them, this is in the middle here. Don't know why this one's off centered. However, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, and that should be on low beam. Yeah, and high beam. Low, high. Low, high. That's working lovely. And you can see the beam on the wall there. Turn it here. Low beam, high beam. Yeah. That's all good. I think the beam looks a wee bit on the low side, but then the back is sitting up in the air, so I'll check that with the measuring tape. I don't know how I'm going to adjust that one, because that was one of these ones for China. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. If I have problems when I do a rodeo on it, I'll maybe just have to go to Wreckers and get a proper Yamaha one and put that on. I should have done that in the first place, to be quite honest. But you can buy these kits, they're about $300, including delivery from China, and it's just to convert it into a street fighter look. So yeah, so once I get the indicators on, I'll probably have to order 4, because this one's buggered. So I'll order 4. This is coming this week, this bit with the broken handle, so I'll get that replaced. Get these side covers sanded and fixed and whatever I'm going to do with them. And then I'll get her roaded. And I'm really looking forward to getting her on the road. Anyway, I suppose that's it for just now. Yeah, not much else I can do to it till the rest of the bits come, but yeah, you'll see her again when we get her roaded, if she passes and everything, and yeah, that'll be having the road up for sale. And a couple of bits to do to the others, but this is going to be the main one next, the ZZR. Looking forward to that. Anyway, I'll see you later.